why humanity will never leave the solar system.
Today will, and maybe no human ever. Locked in by an invisible barrier,
No human
impossible
ever.
to overcome for carbon-based animals like us. And not just
Need to
us,
also turn
there
down
may
my
be millions
volume a
of
little
alien
bit.
civilizations in the universe, none of them ever able to venture into deep
By the way,
space. Exploration of the galaxy and beyond should just be a question of time, sort of mandatory for civilizations at a certain point. But there's a catch. We're pushing up against fundamental physics. What is this barrier made of dust and nothingness? And why is it so hard to overcome? You don't understand how large space is. We don't either.
Actually, I do, because I have seen videos like universe is pretty much endless. And we know so little about universe, to be honest. Like it's like so huge thing.
Space is so absurdly huge that we just check out and just hear very far. Very far and a million times very far feels the same.
Yes, actually, to be honest, if you think about it like this, you can't really comprehend how far something is in the universe.
But it's not. To help our brains, let's start with what makes us cross distances: speed. The fastest a human ever traveled in space were astronauts at 40,000 kilometers an hour, returning from the moon in 1969. Not bad, but way too slow. The fastest thing humans have ever built by far is the Parker Solar Probe, which at this moment uses a physics cheat code hurling around the gravity well of Venus, accelerating to get closer to the sun. After 7 years of doing this, the probe is shooting through space at a breathtaking 635,000.
What? 635,000 kilometers per hour. My God, what the hell? By the way, how fast is speed of light? How fast is speed of light? One light is... What the frick is this number?
Current rockets would need 7 to 10 months to reach Mars, but our new spaceship covers the distance in just 2 weeks. Pretty good. The next stop is Pluto, which will reach after about a year. Okay, much longer.
It takes 1 year to reach to Pluto. Damn,
but
that's
still
actually
okay.
quite far.
It only takes 2 more years to pass the heliopause and 1 more to pass Voyager 2, which travelled over 50 years to get
These
this
are
far.
like some kind
Great.
of space.
The next stop is
space
the
stuff.
end of the Oort cloud, the true edge of the solar system where open space begins. We reach it in 2,500.
I'm thinking, how far have humans actually reached in space? Like, I know we have these planets, like Pluto is the last planet. Or is it planet anymore? I don't know. At some point, I think they took the Pluto off from the planet list. Is Pluto planet? Planet. No, Pluto is not a major planet. Not anymore. Okay. Dwarf planet. So it is a planet then. What? But yes, I think they took the Pluto off the planet. So how far have we actually then reached in the solar
100
system?
years. Oh no. Not only did we travel for the amount of time it took to get from the founding of the Roman Republic to the present day, there's nothing out here. This is the invisible barrier, the barrier of nothingness that might trap us in the solar system forever. Why don't we just go faster? Well, we don't know of a non-magic way to travel faster than light, teleport or freeze people. So no warp drive for now.
How sick would that actually be if you travel faster than light? I think humans will actually skyrocket at this point.
But things like a propulsion system that uses nuclear fusion or antimatter, ignoring the technical details and various problems that these energy sources have, will be very optimistic and make the reasonable assumption that we can get a spaceship to fly at around 20% the speed of light, which is extremely fast. 60,000 kilometers per second, 216 million kilometers per hour. Fast enough to reach the edge of the solar system in just 3.5 days and the outer edge of the Oort cloud in 8 years. Alpha Centauri, the closest star system to our own, in 20 years. We can work with that. There's only one small problem.
What? So we have actually went out so far. And we still haven't found, like, we're still finding planets and stuff over there. We're like finding new solar systems. What?
Space hates you. The barrier of dust. Unfortunately,
yes,
we'll
yes.
run into a few obstacles on the way. Literally. Because while space is very empty, it's not actually empty. There are energetic particles, gas,
Yeah.
dust, and things bigger than
To be honest,
dust.
I was thinking that's gonna happen only on the moon. Like, I know that when people go onto the moon surface, I know that there are this like really small dust and stuff. I didn't know that it's actually in the space as well.
Really fast and smash into something, you have a huge problem. And at 20% the speed of light, this is true even if the thing you're smashing into is just an atom. An individual iron atom that hits your spaceship at this speed has enough energy to carve a damage track tenths of a millimeter deep. Over time, its hull will be riddled with microscopic
how
bullet
they
holes,
actually do
which
that
is
then?
not great. Of course, our engineers knew this and created a shield for our ship,
So they made
a sort of
something
protective
to
cell
protect
that
it.
absorbs or at least slows down most molecules we smash into.
Oh, is that why they have this big like fucking things in the front and on the sides and stuff? I guess that's the reason why they're like trying to cover up the space station and stuff.
And while this makes the journey much safer, there are things floating around in space that are larger than atoms. Running into a single grain of dust at 20% the speed of light is like running into a grenade, causing a tiny
Holy-
detonation as the dust explosively evaporates,
my God.
grinding away our protective shield.
That's mad.
But you can also hit something bigger than a grain of dust, like a small rock the size of a golf ball. Hitting that
This thing will literally like cause explosion then. Pretty much your whole aircraft is gone when you hit this thing.
at 20% the speed of light releases more than double the energy of the nuclear bomb that was dropped over Hiroshima. We'll not even talk about
What?
anything larger. Atoms, dust, and pebbles are dangerous enough. We might have reached our natural speed limit here, beside the fact that we don't have a
So we don't actually have problem with the speed. We actually have problem with this stuff like flying around on the space. So we don't really like need to figure out how to go faster. We need to figure out how to actually stay alive over there. Is that actually the reason why people can't like travel too fast and too far?
good idea how we could possibly fly any faster, all of the damaging effects of hitting stuff floating around in the void get much worse fast. Having said all that, it's
But now I'm thinking, we have sensors. Can't they like do something about the sensors so they can actually like, I don't know, dodge the stuff or do something? I don't know.
probably fair to assume that with enough shielding, our
How many
spaceship should be able to survive traveling through
crazy
space
like
at roughly
engineers and
20%
stuff.
the speed of light, long enough to get to at least nearby stars in a reasonable amount of time. Only one more issue to overcome. Almost everything in space that's close is super lame. The first proper target outside the solar system
That's the way
is
to
the
put it.
Alpha Centauri system, which is roughly 10,000 years with our original slow, more realistic ship, but only 20 years with our super fast fictional ship. So
Okay.
let's cram a few unlucky humans into a tiny box for 20 years and send them on their way and assume they somehow make it without murdering each other.
Yeah, imagine you need to like fly actually, yes. You would go crazy. Like if you need to be inside of this little space shuttle with, I don't know, 4 people or something like that, people will get into each other's hair a lot. And I think they will have like these fights and stuff. So it's not really viable tactics, to be honest. You need to have some kind of
4
entertainment.
years after their arrival, their message reaches Earth. People around the globe gather together and hold their breath.
Also, if they reach there after 20 years, they're pretty much never coming back. So it's like 24 years to even reach the destination. They're dead. Like,
Eager to listen to it. We arrived. Alpha Centauri and its planets are very pretty up close. Unfortunately, they're all super deadly and uninhabitable. But we're doing extremely cool astrophysics and are learning a lot, which is pretty exciting. We're getting kind of tired of freeze-dried food and desperately need new shows to watch though. Not sure what we were thinking coming here. The thing about space is that almost all close destinations, if close means something different from what it usually means, are pretty lame. Not from a scientific perspective, of course. It would be an
What do you mean
absolute
lame?
dream to have the privilege to set foot on foreign planets and marvel at the wonders
oh, imagine you're gonna be the first person ever who's gonna actually step your foot on, I don't know, some new planet. How cool will that be? Or like whatever Elon Musk wants to do is like go to the Mars or whatever the planet he was going. Imagine, that would be sick, man.
of our universe. But if 20% of the speed of light might be our speed limit, our solar system is a bit unlucky in that regard. We're in a relatively empty pocket of the galaxy. This might change in a few million years as we move through the galaxy, and there might be small, localized star-spanning civilizations.
I do wonder because we actually haven't really we haven't really seen too much how far can we haven't explored too far. So I do really wonder, is there any kind of life out there? Besides us? I mean, of course there is. I'm pretty sure there is, but I mean intelligent life like we are. I mean these little insects and stuff, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of them in the space. But I do mean intelligent life. That's something whole different topic, I think. And I do wonder, is there something like that out there?
Discuss this in another video. Let's say that we could go much further to any of the stars within our stellar neighborhood, a sphere about 25 light years in diameter. 0.02% of the Milky Way, by the way. This tiny bubble is currently inhabited by 34 stars and 6 brown dwarfs. Only 3 stars in our neighborhood are similar to the Sun, and another one is Alpha Centauri A. The other stars close to us are mostly red dwarfs with planets that vary from deadly to super deadly. There are a few planets in the habitable zones of their stars where water can be liquid, but Mars is also in the habitable zone of the Sun, and it's really bad. Even the planets that we think look most like Earth, like GJ1061d, come with no guarantees. Imagine traveling your entire life and then arriving at a Mars and may have actual habitable planets with oceans and atmospheres that are breathable, which probably would mean that they have some form of microbial life, if not more. It would be extremely interesting and definitely worth it to check them out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there are actually planets where there are microscopic life and stuff. I think that's actually quite common. Because in the Earth as well, and I think even in Mars maybe, once we reach the Mars, I'm pretty sure there is already stuff like that there. But what I more I think this for me at least, it's kind of normal. But I do wonder, is that intelligent life like we are? That would be something that's really big, bang, surprise news.
Thousands of light years away, which means journeys of hundreds or thousands of years, even at a large fraction of the speed of light. Of course, it is maybe feasible that a future humanity that is technologically way more advanced than us and very motivated could find solutions. Maybe they've solved biological aging and a travel time of a few hundred years doesn't seem that bad to them. Maybe they could send...
Guys, if you would have actually let's say you would have way to live forever, would you? Yeah, same guns actually. I wouldn't want to actually live forever. Because the thing is, at some point it gets kind of boring. Of course, I think the longer you live, actually you get wealthy and stuff, but I also think there are downsides for it. You see all your relatives die, you see everybody else dying, and at some point you actually have tried everything in the world. So what's the point of living anymore then?
AI spaceships with embryos or some version of that into space. They'd probably have way more advanced telescopes to make sure they don't choose star systems that are deadly and empty. But it's still hard to imagine without real science fiction technology how they could build and sustain a connected civilization. Conclusion. The longer you think about deep space, the less it makes sense. The distances are too vast. There's a deadly speed limit, and even if we could solve these issues, almost all destinations even remotely reachable may not be worth the trip. Space is the greatest challenge humanity will ever face.
That's actually quite mad how we have evolved as humans. Imagine at some point we used spears and I don't know, fire was so big thing for us. And now we just space travel, normal thing. We have AI that thinks for us. What's happening?
Yourself of something. There are few things that make you look dumber than predicting the future of technology. In 1903, the New York Times published an editorial, Flying Machines Which Do Not Fly, that confidently predicted it would take humans 1 to 10 million years to achieve powered flight. 69 days later, the first successful flight happened.
What? These guys were like, oh no, we don't have 1 million years. Let's do it tomorrow.
66 years later, humans landed on the moon. So we really hope this...
So we pretty much went, idea of flight, like literally, we went from idea of flight to actually getting to the moon within like 66 years. That's mad. If you think about it like that, yes, that's very long time. But also, compared to the whole human like time when humans have been live, that's nothing.
This video will seem as dumb as this article in 100 years. And there's another option entirely. Maybe our thinking about all of this is just completely wrong. Maybe the future is not out there, but deep down. But we'll explore that in another video.
Damn man, I believe video. I'm gonna subscribe and actually like the video as well.